Hey, beautiful souls. It's Spirit Says, where we let the words of Yeshua flow through for your divine messages. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe, as that is a free way to support me, because y'all, the messages ultimately is going to be beautiful, but it's a bit of a journey for whoever this message is resonating for. You might have found yourself recently. Excuse me. It might be clearing your throat chakra as well, clearing your throat, being able to speak up. You're going through a lot of decisions. You see the one decision you're supposed to make, and you're ultimately scared to make it. There might even be some big ego, big emotions, I'm almost thinking of like the manipulative way that you're expressing your emotions. It may not be intentional. You might be going through some stuff where it's like a survival thing, and you find basically that you're manipulating people or a situation. That might be what you've got. You're all up in your head about, really trying to figure things out. And it's not necessarily like you're trying to be like intentionally vindictive, but if we are intentionally trying to get people to do, think, or say things that they would otherwise not if they had the whole story, right? That is manipulation. And I say that with so much love here. All the words are meant with love. That's the whole point of this, because if we can move through this energy, the ending is so beautiful. So stick around, because if this is resonating, you might end in this ego, this manipulative energy. You might have even found yourself maybe seeking, thinking, or looking for fellowship, because I feel like you're catching yourself. Whatever this energy is that's maybe manipulative in some way, I feel like you're being accountable and being willing to catch yourself, which is amazing. Good job. I love that for you, because I believe that's exactly what it is that's going to get you here ultimately, because it's having to take that accountability, connectedness, or something, right? That actually is what gets you here. So if this is resonating, stick around, because this is certainly your message, baby. So I feel like there were some plans or things going on in your life that you maybe, going back to this, and this, okay, I feel like this is a little bit maybe like previous energy, whereas this is more, that makes sense. This is the previous energy. This is probably where you're coming from. This is where you're at now. This is where you're going, and this is where you're going to end up. That makes so much sense now. Sorry, I don't ever really read too much into these messages. I shuffle, I dabble into it. I kind of get an energetic feel, see what I'm dealing with, and then I just let Yeshua flow. So now that makes sense. Okay, thank you. So, okay, the energy you were previously in, you might have been really arrogant, honestly. You might have been like really like, oh, look at me, you know, ego fully on display, maybe a bit more than you needed to, right? And because of that, there might have been things that came up that hit you square in the face that caused you to kind of move on, whether it's just purely mentally or you actually physically did locate to a new location, right? Transport yourself, translate. I was actually going to say translate. So I got caught up on my words. So maybe there's something you need to translate into a spoken word or into word form, something like that, right? And I feel like because when you were in this kind of cocky energy, it caused you to go deep. It caused you to go into that knowledge, into that wisdom, into that connectedness that gave you the ability to step out of the contracts, get clear about something. Maybe it caused a positive increase in your life, and that's what you were able to see that, and that's what caused you to have this steady progress onto your next phase of evolution of whatever this is you're trying to get out of. I feel like maybe there might have been something big you got yourself into unintentionally. Maybe it was because of your ego. Maybe your ego is what got you there, and you were just kind of very cocky, arrogant, whatever that might have been. No shade. It's all love here. And whatever it was, I feel like you learned your lesson though. I feel like there was this, maybe a lesson you weren't seeing that you realize, wow, maybe you hurt people emotionally. Maybe it wasn't necessarily physically, but I don't know, something where I just feel like whatever it was, it came off as like callous, but it wasn't necessarily unintentional per se. And maybe that's where that manipulative energy was coming from, where you were trying to be like, well, no, see, you got to see it from my side, right? Like maybe I'm the victim here, but maybe you really weren't. Maybe you were more at fault than you gave yourself credit for, right? And now you are contemplating, and you know maybe taking accountability is what's right, but you're not certain on how to get there. You're maybe still in your ego, and that's where the fellowship is coming in. You know you need that, so you can come out of that ego, out of this next transition, and ultimately end up here, which is a beautiful, beautiful new beginning, you guys. Whoever this message is for, like, you have something beautiful coming. It's just the journey to get there. And I think that's really what Spirit is coming through, is to encourage you through this journey, give you a little bit of a heads up on what you might be encountering, and let you know that if you keep on this diligent path, that you are in fact going to get here. Okay? Oh, this is beautiful. Whoever this is for, yes, I feel that is so exactly the divine message. My heart space just like lit up. I am so excited for you. I'm giving you such a big hug on the other side of the screen, whoever this is for, because like, oh, it's just yummy, successful, happy, amazing energy that you're ultimately going to find yourself in. Okay. But I feel like as you have traversed out of this, that it might have been pretty relatively easy once you got clear. And maybe like you're having to deal with some of the residual now. Maybe that's where the fellowship did come in, was to deal with this cocky and, manipulative, kind of emotionally, whatever the fuck kind of energy, just out of alignment. It was just ultimately out of alignment. I feel like for what you desire to create for your life, I feel like whatever this energy you were in, for whatever reason, maybe you were operating as survival, maybe you were highly triggered over a situation, right? Whatever it was, it had you in some misaligned energy that I just really feel like maybe there's some shame behind that. Maybe you're embarrassed a little bit. Maybe that's why you're stagnant with some of this, right? Because moving into the energy that's coming up, I feel like, so this is how they were read. Excuse me. The 10 of Wands. So you might find yourself coming into the energy of needing rest. You coming out of this, moving through this, might have cost you tangibly a lot of energy, time, resources, right? Like you put in a lot, you got a lot, you received a lot, which is beautiful. Congratulations. But it took a lot. And that's what I think this next phase that Spirit is asking you to do is to retreat, realign everything that you are interested in. So pause. So diverging your interests is about being very clear about where interest and life in general is really how I read this. Life in general, the whole thing is eclipsing over all of it. And where exactly are my interests aligned and misaligned? Where do I need to move now? Because the Chariot in reverse is asking you to basically stand still and not be stagnant and not productive. That's not what I mean. Stand still as in don't try forward. You might even have to take a step or two back, but I want you to kind of pause is really what I'm feeling. To retreat into this energy, to get the clear, maybe that's what it is, to retreat into this energy, because ultimately that's what it is. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. You've succeeded a lot. And now I feel like Spirit is asking you to pause, realign your interests, and nourish your body as you take, because judgment is about, I really honestly kind of feel like judgment is a very abundant card. You're receiving the divine's abundance, the divine's judgment on your life. And if you've been retreating, nourishing yourself, holding space, really being accountable in ways that maybe God, Spirit, divine, whatever you call it, had shown you is what it is that you needed. Maybe it came in the form of other people. Maybe that's what gave you all of these things that you knew you needed to do, but maybe there was one especially that really spooked you, that really caused you to have fear. I just saw that as a reflection too. So maybe there's something mirroring even with you in my picture frame. Maybe it was, and this is a beautiful landscape. So maybe there's something that you are taking in the essence of. Right? There's a bunch of different purples and oranges. It's a sunrise. So maybe there's something in the morning that you are, maybe this, and maybe that is when you're needing to take this nourishment. Maybe doing some mirror work first thing in the morning. If you know anything about my work, please head on over to the links in the description. I have a free 10 days self-paced course, Heal Your Nervous System and How to Feel Human Again. And it nourishes your soul. And I talk about starting first thing in the morning because it's something that you're able to be consistent with. And maybe that's what you're ironing out. You're receiving the blessing. Something is coming in for you. Something is being heralded in by the divine, is gifting you. Maybe it's knowledge, but whatever it is, it's bringing you into this abundance. Maybe it's the entire thing. Maybe because there was a little bit of work still with the humility card. But if you tread carefully with whatever it is you're doing, you are coming out of this 10 of Swords energy, and you're in this new energy with the Fool. And it's like you're returning to what was divinely maybe orchestrated. Maybe there is a returning home for whatever the blessings is. Like the divine is bringing those blessings, and it's like a returning home kind of a feeling, that sensation, that oneness, that connectedness, that you are on this new beginning of returning home to everything the divine had meant for you. Ooh, that felt juicy. Yes, maybe that's what it is. Ooh, that felt so good. Whoever this is, I am so excited for you. This is so beautiful, y'all. Oh my goodness. My heart is just so expanded for you because through whatever and maybe it is a creative power. Maybe that's what is being brought in. Maybe there's something to do with a creative power that is beginning first in your mind before you can fully invoke, fully bring it forward, fully manifest and bring it into fruition, right? Whatever that is, you, my love. Yeah, shoot, look what was on below that. Ooh, Temperance. 8 of Wands, that was unintentional. With the 2 of Swords, though, in reverse, you're gaining that clarity for this new beginning. Because you're returning home. Whatever that looks like to you, whatever that feels like. Maybe you have a pet, someone who's loyal. Like, what do they say? Dogs are man's best friend, right? Like incredibly loyal on your journey with you. Look, he's just so ready to venture off. And you're stepping in with clarity to your new beginning, to everything that you were meant to receive. Maybe something big happened in your life and maybe people tried to take from you what wasn't theirs, essentially. It could be money, it could be family, it could be titles, it could be business, anything. Right? It could be even like a namesake or even a reputation they try to take from you. Doesn't matter, but whatever it was. Whoa, we almost got knocked over again. My goodness. I always consider that. Maybe they try to knock you over. Quite literally. Oh, that's so funny. Maybe they literally tried to knock you over. Because I was about to pick these up. As you were working through maybe some finishing touches. Maybe even people try to do that shit to you, right? Like some really gnarly things. But you treaded carefully and you were able to get these swords out of your back. You reversed the energy. You came into the clarity of having direction. You're feeling refreshed. You're feeling relieved, maybe, as you enter into that new beginning. Because you so divinely deserved it, my love. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.